Toto Wolff's recent admission about Mercedes' struggles is nothing short of shocking. When Wolff joined Mercedes in 2013, the team was climbing the ranks and soon dominated Formula One with a series of wins. But with the new regulations in 2022, things took a turn and Mercedes fell behind, something Wolff found very tough to handle. From 2014 to 2021, Mercedes dominated Formula One, winning the Constructors Championship every season. However, that streak ended in 2022 when new regulations took effect. Reflecting on his journey as Mercedes team principal, Toto Wolff shared, "When I joined the team, I led it in a certain way. I was very emotional and relentless. I kept our entire system under constant pressure. I wanted to shake up the organization, and my only goal was to make us a World Championship winning team." But 2022 was a tough year for Mercedes. The team struggled and won only one race at Interlagos. The car also faced severe issues with bouncing throughout the season. Wolff admitted, "It was a difficult year." He continued, "Then came 2022 and the incredible emotions when I was thinking, we can't be so far behind, we will soon get back on our feet. Then came the realization that it wasn't going to happen quickly." How did Wolff change? The Austrian CEO and team principal of Mercedes, Toto Wolff, explained how he had to change as a person to adapt to a new approach. "The whole team was in danger of collapsing under pressure," Wolff said. "I changed that. I became more pragmatic, analyzed things more deeply, and gave people a chance instead of being too brutal and direct. I also realized that impatience does not make the car faster." After a winless 2023 season, Mercedes bounced back in 2024, winning 3 Grand Prix. George Russell secured a victory in Austria, while Lewis Hamilton added to his legacy by winning his 104th and 105th career victories at Silverstone and Spa-Francorchamps. Wolff's shift in leadership style seems to be paying off as Mercedes finds its way back to the top. Key changes to Mercedes 2023. He even shared that the team is making significant changes to the architecture of their car for the 2023 season as they aim to reclaim their spot at the top of the Formula One standings. After an impressive streak of 8 consecutive constructors' titles from 2014 to 2021, Mercedes' dominance ended in 2022 when they finished 3rd overall, with George Russell's win in Brazil being their only victory of the season. In 2022, while Red Bull and Ferrari quickly adapted to the new technical regulations, Mercedes struggled, particularly with porpoising issues on their W13 car. This bouncing problem plagued their performance throughout much of the season. During an appearance on F1's Beyond the Grid podcast, Wolff was asked if Mercedes had resolved these issues. He added that Mercedes is making adjustments to the car's design, stating, "We are changing some of the architecture and the layout of the car that should point us in the right direction. But as it is with these new regulations, sometimes you uncover one problem and then you realize there was another underneath." Wolff's comments highlight the team's determination to return to winning form in 2025. He even focused on the need for humility as they work to regain their championship-winning form in 2023. "We have to be humble and not feel a sense of entitlement that we are going to get back into this championship and win straight from the get-go. So, I'm really looking forward to it," Wolff said, highlighting the challenges ahead. James Vowles, the team's motorsport strategy director, who is set to leave Mercedes in February to become Williams' new team principal, shared insights on Mercedes' progress. Speaking on Mercedes' YouTube channel, Vowles acknowledged that while they've learned a lot from the W13, they don't yet fully understand the car. "I don't think you can truly now, or even across the winter state, that we know everything about the W13, Vowles admitted. "Throughout the year, every time we learned something, we discovered a whole series of new items that we had to quickly learn, understand, and develop." Despite these challenges, Vowles pointed out the significant progress Mercedes made in closing the gap to the front, especially in race pace. "If you look at the direction moving forward, the gaps to the front, especially on race pace, we made huge amounts of progress, and you only do that by understanding where your problems are, working on them, and working as a team. Looking ahead to the 2024 season, Vowles expressed confidence in Mercedes' development tools. "The confidence we have is that we now have our tools, our wind tunnel tools, our development tools, our performance tools here in the organization, producing performance which is more than our competitors. It is allowing us to move further forward relative to them," he added. The W14. Now, talking about the insights on their approach to the W14, he revealed that the car shown at their launch will largely remain the same for pre-season testing and the start of the 2023 season. Unlike last year, when Mercedes made significant changes to their car between the Barcelona pre-season session and the subsequent test in Bahrain, shifting to a Daring Zero sidepod design, Wolff explained that they will take a different approach this year. Last season, Mercedes faced several early season challenges after making those dramatic changes. Reflecting on this, Wolff stated that they learned a valuable lesson and will now focus on understanding the W14's characteristics without rushing into major alterations. "Last year we learned a tough lesson," Wolff said. "We knew that we were going to bring an upgrade package for test number 2 that was worth a second and a half." Wolff acknowledged that their previous strategy had its drawbacks, as the initial test wasn't seen as particularly relevant due to the planned upgrades. However, the expected performance boost didn't materialize as hoped. In a way, you're then looking at the first test and thinking that's not really relevant because that's not going to be the car. Then we put that on the track and it wasn't performing at all as we expected, Wolff admitted. With next week's pre-season test in Bahrain approaching, Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff shared that the W14 car seen at their recent launch will largely be the one they test and race with. Unlike last year, when Mercedes made significant changes after the first test, Wolff emphasized the importance of understanding the car's platform from the beginning. "This year we went the other way around," Wolff explained, "and what you've seen is for a large part the car that we're going to test and to race." Wolff highlighted that instead of holding back parts that might add a small aerodynamic boost, Mercedes is focused on how the car behaves as a whole. This approach contrasts with other teams that are moving towards the sidepod concept used by Red Bull. However, Mercedes has decided to stick with their unique narrow sidepod design for now, although Wolff hinted at potential tweaks as the season progresses. "The narrow sidepod design is not something that we believe was fundamentally the reason why we didn't perform," Wolff stated, indicating that they are open to changes but don't see it as the main issue. "The sidepods will change, not very soon, but we're looking at solutions. But it's not a core fundamental performance part, as we judge." As Mercedes prepares for the new season, they aim to return to their title-winning form after being surpassed by Max Verstappen and Red Bull, following an era where they secured 7 drivers' titles and 8 constructors' titles since 2014. Mercedes' upgrade strategy for remainder of 2024 season. Mercedes has outlined a strategic plan for developing their W15 car for the latter half of the 2024 F1 season, focusing on consistent and incremental upgrades to target pole positions and race victories. The team faced a challenging start to the 2024 season, but a notable turnaround began over the summer, leading to significant wins. George Russell's victory in Austria marked Mercedes' first win since 2022, and Lewis Hamilton's emotional triumph at Silverstone ended his 2.5-year winless streak. Since the introduction of F1's ground effect regulations in 2022, Mercedes initially struggled but has adapted through persistent development. Andrew Chauvelin, a key figure in the team's development, emphasized the structured approach they've taken with the W15. "We set ourselves some very ambitious performance targets to make sure we were competitive enough to qualify on pole and win races by the end of the year," Chauvelin said, highlighting the ambitious plans to meet these targets in stages through various updates. Chauvelin also praised the unified effort within Mercedes to overcome early season difficulties. "What has been brilliant to see is just how well the whole organization has responded to that challenge to try and get us back towards the front. And what we have done has delivered," he remarked. The strategy for the W15 involves drip-feeding updates in upcoming races rather than introducing large overhaul packages. Chauvelin expressed excitement about the ongoing development efforts, stating, "We'll be coming over the next few races, drip-feeding it in more than going for big packages, but the midterm future is still quite exciting." As Mercedes continues to push forward with these updates, the anticipation around their impact on the team's performance grows. With a clear focus and a robust development strategy, Mercedes aims to finish the 2024 season on a strong note. What do you think of the time when Mercedes was about to collapse and the way it came back? Comment below and subscribe for more.